It's perfect.
Ta-da! So this is my first video review on Samyang 75mm T1.9 lens. Look at how beautiful this is. This lens is made in Korea. This is a cine lens with autofocus. Frankly, I don't know what differentiates a cine lens from a photography lens, but I got this lens for a couple of reasons. I have Sony ZV-E10 camera and I was looking for some long-range lens that is cheap and light. This lens is built with plastic, but very durable plastic. As you can see here, this lens comes with this weird lens cap that just mounts on the lens. And I'm always scared that the lens cap will scratch the metal surface. And over the time of usage, it will cause some scuff on the lens metal area. I feel like there are only two metal parts to this lens. One is on the front. Looks like there are some more mounting options that is going to come to this lens. And the other one is the rear. Maybe the lens is not completely weather sealed, but it's a very nice compact 75mm T1.9 lens. And I really appreciate Samyang making this an autofocus lens. One thing I like is the mentioning of 75mm T1.9 in this part to identify or differentiate between the other lenses in the series. These switches in this lens can actually help you to set the focus limiting options, and this is actually a full frame lens. If you are going to mount this lens on a full frame body, I think you really get a good value for the money. If you are looking to mount this on Sony ZV-E10, I think the rolling shutter performance is horrible. I have tested the autofocus on this lens, but I realized there are some changes in the settings that you can make to make this autofocus work for this lens. Especially, you should change from point mode to the wide mode. Otherwise, the autofocus just struggles. So earlier in this video, when I was recording, the contact of the lens was not proper. It did not actually recognize the autofocus motor. So it was actually focusing on the wall behind and it did not focus at all. But now that I managed to get the autofocus right and the pins get aligned with the actual pins on the mount, it is working fine. As you can see that if I leave the frame and come back again, it is focusing smoothly on my face. Also, on one more note, if you're mounting this lens on a ZV-E10, the rolling shutter is pretty bad. As you can see, my face just wobbles. I would not recommend you to use this lens on a ZV-E10 because of poor rolling shutter performance, but otherwise it's a really good focusing lens. If you're having like a studio environment and if you want to take an interview shot with this kind of lens, then it's very good. You get proper background separation, you can have it as a B-roll shot, and the focus is staying right on my eyes. I'm not finding any concerns with the build quality of the lens, as well as I'm seeing the tally light that it's recording right in front of the lens as well. It's a very well built lens, but it's just not for fast moving objects. I really wish this camera can do some better performance. It can focus up to 0.69 meters. So yeah. So let's say you want to do some B-roll shots. So this is how close you can get to a product. I'm showing here my Fujifilm X-T4 as an example. This is as close as it can get. It's tracking my face really good. I'm going out of the frame, coming back into the frame. It's tracking me really good as well. It engaged right on my face in a very smooth manner. Now I'm going back again. I'm going down, coming up. It did a good job of locking onto my face when I came up. I think for this price, this build quality, and this autofocus performance, I'm really happy with my purchase of this lens. More videos on this lens coming up. So one more thing I really like about this lens is whenever you turn on the lens, the LEDs on both sides, one towards the left and one towards the front, is lighting up saying that, hey, I'm ready to record or ready to shoot photos. And whenever you're recording, it turns to red, indicating that you're recording on both sides. I don't know, I haven't explored much whether I can turn it off, but that's for another video. But I think there should be some option to turn it off. But for now, I'm really happy that it shows that the lens is active and it's ready to record. I love the color, the build, and the weight of this lens. This is an amazingly built lens. I don't think ZV-E10 should be used at all for even the studio work. If I do this in Fuji camera, my head looks like my head. It doesn't look like my head is a jelly just moving from left to right. But my head just wobbles here and there like a jelly. That's horrible. Such bad performance when it comes to ZV-E10's rolling shutter. That's it for the review. I have also posted the unboxing of this lens. It comes with a very minimal package. It doesn't have much of cushioning. It's just very simple, just the lens only part. But I do feel there's enough optics to make it worth for the money. As you can see that this optics is just amazing. 75mm lens. This is really good.